Hello Ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games. Welcome to another look at early access games. I've already shown you 6 early access games finally fully releasing in 2018 on console, Xbox One and PS4, and I've shown you some of the early access games already available that I'm hopeful will come to Xbox One and the PS4 this year. But what about all the other early access games? There are hundreds, nearly thousands of games in development. Whether or not they all make it, that's another question. I'm going to be going through some of the ones that I'm really hopeful for, some of the ones I'm most excited for, and some of the ones that are more guaranteed to appear as early access on Steam, as well as possibly come to Xbox One and the PS4. I'm going to be giving it a rating for every one of these games out of 5, most definitely coming to console, and then it work its way down to 1, may not appear on console ever. So let's take a look at early access games arriving in 2018. Kicking off with the Raft. I'm really hyped for this one. It has been revamped and remade from the free demo that it was last year. It's now a fully fledged Steam game published by the same people that make Scrap Mechanic. A simple premise like surviving on a raft in the ocean made massive headway last year. Every tuber, every streamer I knew was giving it a go and trying it. Really successful. I'm going to see this blow up in 2018. It's got multiplayer in it. They're adding a bunch of features. The devs have been really active, keeping people up to date exactly what they've been doing every single week with features, new item and character models, the gameplay elements. It's all really coming together very nicely for the Raft, so I fully expect this to come to console. The devs haven't explicitly said it will, but I think it's not going to be the most taxing of games. I reckon I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5, maybe expect to see this on Xbox One or the PS4 by the end of 2018. Now don't worry, they're not all survival games, but this next one is with a twist. This is all based obviously in the future. That's nothing too new. There's lots of games like that at the moment, like Fractured, as well as a bunch of others that are set in space or have got a sci-fi element to it. So what makes this one, Pantropy, stand out from the rest? It's the mechs that are involved. The whole basis of this is constructing and building your own mechs. Now at first I thought it was going to be very customizable, but looking at a lot of the devs stuff they've been showing, the gameplay elements, as well as some of the art they've been showing, it looks like a lot of the mechs are going to be pre-built and you just simply build them and that's the way they are. But I'm hopeful you can add a lot more customization to them in the future. It has been developed for a while. I showcased this last year. It looking like it's more than likely to come out on Steam at some point in the next few months, hopefully. They haven't had many closed alphas, maybe 1 or 2, and it was a Kickstarter game, so they always tend to take a little bit longer, but they have, I think, got the green light now to be on Steam properly. It's just a case of getting things to a playable stage where they're happy with it, and it's going to be, you know, something that people really want to play. I really like the mech element. I think that's going to stand it apart from some of the other games out there. I think that's the way to go. If they can add customizable options so you can build your own mechs or add different modules onto them, I think that would be totally epic on their part if they can do that. Made using the Unity engine, the same engine that is used to make Subnautica. I really hope Pantropy does get even more backing than it's already got. It totally reached its Kickstarter goal, so it should be appearing on Steam very soon, maybe spring, summer 2018. Will it come to console? I'm going to have to give this a 2 out of 5. Don't expect to see this on Xbox or the PS4 until 2019 at best. I think it's going to take a very long time to get optimised for Steam and then make sure it comes to console hopefully one day. Having a good PR team is really important in early access, and the makers of Wild West Online certainly had that when they announced their game way back in the summertime. They took full advantage of the fact that Red Dead Redemption 2 was really hyped and people were expecting it to come out, and so when they started leaking some of their screenshots on the internet, people supposed it was Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out. It turns out it wasn't. It was the NMO. That's what's coming in the form of Wild West Online, a huge open world where you can play with other players online, a cowboy western theme style game where hunters and the hunted become one on the same map. You can go and take out bounties on people. If you're a criminal, if you're an outlaw, expect other players to come hunt you down to get that sweet bounty. The bounty system is going to be one of the main systems in the game, but there's a lot more going for it, like mini games, like gambling, as well as being able to hunt special relics or look for treasure. It's another key aspect of the game. I've yet to try it yet. It is technically in an early access program, but it's not on Steam at the moment. They're selling it through their alpha program. I think it is going to be a free-to-play game when it finally actually comes out, but they're doing that route that most people do nowadays. If you're not going to have a Kickstarter, you tend to charge people to play the early access version, even if it is going to be free. However you feel about that, it still means that people, the developers, are going to be getting lots of money and income in to hopefully support the game and get it out there more. It looks interesting, it looks pretty cool. I think the graphics are really decent. Whether or not the gameplay is going to be sustainable, how the servers are going to be, what's it going to be like when it's got maybe up to 100 players on it, we're not too sure yet. I will be picking up the early access version at some point, but I probably won't until it actually hits the Steam and see if it gets a bit more stable and make sure some of the bugs and issues have been ironed out a little bit more between now and then. It may not be Red Dead Redemption 2, but with that not scheduled to come out now until maybe summer 2018, this could be a really good bet, and the fact it's an MMO stands it apart from Red Dead Redemption. We probably don't have enough Western games at the moment on the market. Wild West Online is available now on its website and hopefully coming to Steam Early Access soon. I'm going to give this one a 1 out of 5. As infused as I am for it, a massive online multiplayer game like this I can't see coming to console very soon, if at all. I'm hopeful though that can change if it gets lots of popularity. I want to ride my horse on the Xbox One, god damn it. Next up, it's not a survival game, hoorah! This is Next Up Hero, a actual isometric or old school style game where you go around actually trying to defeat the baddies with the ghosts of your friends and people online. Every time you die you leave a ghost and other players can utilise that ghost to help you in the game. It's literally about to launch an early access on Steam, and it is coming to Xbox One, the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch at some point this year, so it's going to be given a 5 out of 5 guaranteed. This is coming to all platforms in 2018. I'm really quite excited about this. It looks cute, it looks fun, it looks something a bit different rather than just playing more open world survival games. If you're a fan of Hearthstone and Lord of the Rings, woohoo, I've made you jizz in your pants because Lord of the Rings the card game is actually coming. Available on early access at some point this year. Alongside it's going to be on mobile as well, so I really do see this coming to console at some point. If they can port it to mobile devices, I can't see a reason not to actually have it on Xbox One and PS4. The only thing that's going to hold it back is how they monetize it. That will be the issue with console, how it actually works. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. Maybe expect to see this at some point late summer on Xbox One and the PS4. Whether or not you're a fan of card games or whether or not it's just Lord of the Rings, I think it'd be really interesting to try this. As long as it's not too much of a clone of Hearthstone, I'm willing to give this a go because I really love the Lord of the Rings world. I think it'd be really interesting to play around with some of the characters and some of the settings from the massive, huge lore that surrounds the Lord of the Rings game. Like I said earlier, there are hundreds of games currently available on the Steam platform. It doesn't necessarily mean they are all going to make it even on an early access program on PC. Lots of them may run into financial issues, they might not have the final push to get the actual game published. Lots of things can affect actual early access games appearing. A good PR team, getting a real buzz about the game, and making sure you've got plenty of closed alphas and betas is pretty key. You've also got to make sure that your game can run on as many systems as possible, even PC, that it can run on lower end systems. One game that may have trouble with that is Scum. It's an open world survival game, a bit like DayZ, maybe Armour 3's kind of mod. There are going to be some game modes with it as well, but the main premise is that you are running around this whole island just surviving day to day. The story behind it is that you are in a reality TV show where you're sent to this island as a penance, or you can choose to rot in jail. That's the idea behind this game. And it may be absolutely fantastic when it actually finally comes to an early access program, but I'm really worried about the technological side of it. We've seen in other games how optimizations really don't get that much improved sometimes. Ark Survival Evolved is an absolute beast on PC, and it normally requires quite a mid to high range sort of setup to play it very good. So Scum is looking like it's utilising some of that same sort of graphical power that you're going to need to really run it well. It is made using the Unreal Engine 4, again something very, very taxing on systems. So I really hope the developers, who have got lots of experience by the way, they have made quite a few games, so hopefully they can bring all that experience to optimise the game. It can run on as many systems as possible, and then maybe possibly think about it comes to Xbox and the PS4. Will it come? I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5 again. I think the limitations with the open world nature of it, the way that at the moment it's using up a lot of processing power from just the look of the game, I am going to say it's not going to be coming to console. If it does, it won't be likely this year. Again, something that may come in 2019. Definitely got some really interesting ideas. You can see the combat system here is very fluid. It's got really unique sort of punching and fighting style to it, and of course it's got a real in-depth sort of shooting first person mode. They go to many great lengths during the sort of dev blog showing us exactly how the systems are different and how they want it to be fair, whether or not you're using first person or third person. If I hear any different about it coming to console, I'll be the first person, as always, to let you know. Scum is due early access on Steam at some point early 2018. It's really hard looking at lots of these early access games and deciding which one's going to be coming. I don't just pick them, I go through researching, I look at the websites, I look at the dev blogs, I see how much progress is being made, how they got funded, was it a Kickstarter, was it a private company, what's the history behind the devs, have they made lots of games. This is a bit of a shot in the dark. This is a very small project made by a very tiny team using the Unreal Engine 4, but I absolutely love the idea of this game. It's a survival game, yes, but it's set as you're a small tiny little creature that's been miniaturized, or you're human and been miniaturized, and look at the environments, look at that. Wouldn't it be amazing making a survival game like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, running around a woodland park when you're only a tiny little small little human? I think this idea is unique, I think this is fresh, and I really hope it does get the actual backing to come. It might not even make it onto early access. Currently it's got some crowdfunding behind it. I think it's got an Indigo, or I'm not too sure on that early access or how that crowdfunding program works, but it is listed on Steam, and I do think they're getting a little bit of support. So with a bit of PR behind it, I really hope this game actually comes to early access, and I really hope it comes to Xbox and PS4 in the future. Will it come? 1 out of 5 at the moment. So that's a lot of early access games that could be coming, may be coming, who knows. One thing we've got to make sure is that when a game does come out of early access, it's got to be ready. We've seen with 7 Days to Die, the development, how it appears on the PC is vastly different to the way it came out on Xbox One and the PS4. So I'm really hopeful for this next game, Survive the Nights. Rocky X Gaming put me onto this. It looks pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to this coming out. Yes, it is another survival zombie game, but when it looks good and if it plays well and it's got, you know, a hell of a lot less bug and development time than 7 Days to Die, I am well into something like this. It definitely has a little more about the aspects of survival. You can see the hunting aspects here of actually cleaning your gun out before you take on an actual enemy or shoot your actual meat. It's also got a lot of trap building, but it looks much more advanced in terms of what you can do with that trap building. I'm really excited for this. I think it'll be a really good addition to the market. I don't see it being something that's just going to be a carbon copy of what's out there. Hopefully it can be in a lot less development time than 7 Days to Die, which is still in its alpha, unbelievably. We will see this at some point on early access in 2018. It hit all its Kickstarter goals. It just takes time to get it finalised. It's behind closed doors alpha on Steam at the moment. Survive the Nights coming. Is it coming to Xbox and PS4? Probably not. Again, I'm going to give this one a 1 out of 5. I know it's not very great hearing this. I know I'm trying to give you guys the heads up what's coming to console, but some of these games really are just on my wish list, or giving you maybe the very first clues about what could come maybe to console in the future. Hopefully this one does make it. So finishing off with a few reminders and obviously stuff I've covered before. PIXARK, the actual Minecraft inspired Ark Survival Evolved hybrid, is definitely coming. It will be coming to early access on Steam, and I can really see this come to Xbox and PS4. Snail Games seem to have a commitment to bring as many of their games to console as they can. When it actually hits, we don't know. It's in open beta in China at the moment. And recently the articles that I translated or from the actual forums say it's progressing nicely. There are a few bugs and latency issues, but it is doing okay on the actual China online platform. So hopefully it will be coming to Steam early access at some point between now and maybe spring summer 2018, and I reckon it definitely will come at some point to the Xbox One game preview program by the end of 2018. So there you go, based on the research I've done, they're the games most likely to be coming out on early access, or the ones that I'm just most interested in. I could be wrong, I could be right on some of them dates. As I said, early access is really difficult to predict, but I'm hopeful that a lot of them games are going to make it out of early access and onto the Xbox One and PS4 in the future. Don't forget, we've got DayZ, The Forest, confirmed coming out on console at some point this year, as well as that we've got the Darwin project that's also coming out. Make sure you go and check out the other 2 videos I've done about early access games, whether or not they're coming, whether or not they're out of early access, and I will see you guys for another video very soon. If you've liked this, let me know in the comments section what one you're most looking forward to seeing, and I'll be doing a poll on what game you'd like to see me cover the most. I am Jade Plays Games, thanks for watching, I'll see you ratbags later.